Hello, all. I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Naveen. So please subscribe as well as like the video if you like it, as well as also please press the bell icon so that you will get a notification whenever I post a new video. So today's topic is about something different. So I don't want to give you any tip today regarding any share or something. So today I want to teach you about how you can find yourself. Some companies by using screener.in website. So let me start with this code. Give a man a fish and you will feed him for the day. Teach a man to fish and you're going to feed him for the lifetime. So that means investing is simple till you know it. It could be any skill till it's it looks like it's difficult and I don't understand. It's only for the known people like that. So since I have spent so much of time, almost like 6 7 years to learn investing, so I'm going to teach you what are the criteria you can also use easily, so that you don't need to depend on someone else. You can learn yourself and you can start investing yourself whenever you have a spare money. Just let me start with that. First of all, I would like to give you the details about this skinner.in. So here you have different screens. First of all, if you go to screens, first of all I would request maybe you to create a user ID and password, so that you will get almost like all the basic access for this website. It's free. Of course there is also premium subscription is there if you pay money, but whatever I've taken, actually it's a basic, just user credentials I've used to create the uh, login and user ID and password. So if I go to screens here tab, so then you will get these kind of different information. So if you just want to pick up a stock for investment, so where do you start? It's always a question mark. You cannot always depend on the tips in a YouTube or LinkedIn or maybe in Telegram or maybe in TV or something like that. So how long you will not be knowing. And if you just invest based on the tips, you don't know when to exit. Maybe the TV guy would have told you, you would have invested, of course, maybe you would have exited after 6 months because of some criteria missing or something, but which you will not, never be knowing. So if you don't learn and invest, it's always risky in share market because it's too volatile. There are so many examples we can give. For example, S bank was in 300 rupees. Now it came all the down to 13 rupees or something like that. Similarly, there are so many examples like Kingfisher. It gone bankrupt and it becomes zero. Similarly, Reliance, companies, Reliance Capital and other things, Anil Ambani's companies, they are all actually, burnt the fingers of so many investors. So yeah, let me come back here. You can see here, these are all the sectors. First you should know. I mean, I don't want to give you the tip how to invest. So these are all the sectors. You can if you click on them and if you try to check, there are so many companies you will get it. Apart from these, there are also popular themes which is already given by screener.in. You can also click on some of the themes which you like, and you can also try to uh, find the stocks. But problem is, whatever it is given here, you should not take it in 100% same way, because this is just in a mathematical calculation way what they're giving here. At least it will give you some of the companies where you can finalize. For example, let me click on this capacity expansion. You can see these are all the companies where they are putting more money to expand their manufacturing sector or something like that. And similarly, FI buying, there is also one PO risk scan is there. Based on that, there is also one coffee can portfolio. Coffee can means, as I already informed in an earlier video, it's kind of putting the buying the stock, and you should never sell it. Keep it for long term. If you buy some 10 stock, keep it for 10 20 years. So this is called coffee can methodology. So the studies have shown that actually this will always outperform the index, as well as the individual investors who are struggling to get the returns. So that means one or two companies maybe can go bankrupt, or they will not give the returns. But of course, if you choose it in a proper way, then the balance 8 will definitely create a wealth for you. So it's also easy, you don't need to do anything. Just keep investing in them and keep quiet. That's it. So these are all some of the companies where you can also take an idea to invest in them. For example, TCS, Tata, ELXI, Sonata. These are all very good companies. Infosys, yeah. Yeah, this is one of the uh, so these are one of the screens. There are so many are there, based on your interest. You can just go through few of them, and they're also giving the different companies. You can see value stocks. So you can see some of the where they say value is there. So they will also, in the if you go down, they're also giving you the formula what they're using, which I'll explain you what are these formulas like that. Just let me I don't want to waste time again. I mean, let me start with this. So let me go to next slide. So this is first criteria. What is what is the market cap. You should not invest in penny stocks, or maybe the market cap which are 5,000 crores. They are, as the risk profile says, it's too risky. you know and similarly, mid cap means the companies who are, market cap is, as you can see, a number of shares into current price. If if, for example, if some share is 500, and the current price is 10, 500 shares are there, current price is 10, it's 5,000, like that market cap. So these are all the classification: large cap, mid cap, and small cap. So large cap means usually more than 20,000, and mid cap means 5,000 to 20,000 crores, and less than 5,000 crores, whatever is there, it is considered as small cap companies. So in the risk profile, you can see large cap usually they are very low risk, and mid cap is moderate risk, and small cap volatile, and also very very risky. You will never know if you invest in some of the companies. So each year, I think what I understood or what I read, so many companies, they will never survive more than 10 years or 20 years time. So that means each year there will be one of the companies which will be getting closed, and they will be getting delisted. If you are invested in the companies, you will lose the money. So that's what it is. So let me quickly go here. For example, if I want to check, you can put a formula here. For example, market cap, capitalization. Let me want to check big companies. Let me put a formula of greater than, for example, 2 lakh crores. Yeah. Uh, See the companies. Oh, there are so many companies. So here, there's also, this is the market cap. You need to see this column. So here I can also do sorting. So it will also give you the companies which are more, which are having more market cap. You can see here, Reliance Capital, it is 17 lakh 48,000 market cap. So much big company. It's a large cap, of course. This is 13 lakh. Second place is 13.88, and HDFC is 12.9. Next comes ICCA Bank with 6.9 market cap. So I mean, this is how it is shown. So always better, if you are a new investor, better to play either in mid cap or in small cap. Don't get into small cap. Mid cap or small cap. Sorry, mid cap or large cap. These are all less volatile, and liquidity means whenever, I mean, whether it's possible to sell it immediately if there is a news comes up. In small cap, usually they will have small number of shares, and it's very tough to get out. They will always go into lower circuit. That means only there will be sellers. So in that case, you can't do anything. You will lose your money. Keep on coming down every day, 10% to 20%. That's too risky. This is the market cap. You should know, if you are investing, you should always give an attention to here which kind of company you're investing. If you're small cap, unless otherwise you know in and out of the company, you should never get into small cap in the beginning, of course. Number of shares, it's always best as low as possible. This is another criteria. You should just have a look, if you're investing in any company. For example, HDFC Bank, if I go quickly, you can see number of shares. You can see here 759 crores. Better is always as low as possible. Usually banking sector, usually they will keep on issuing the shares every every few years or years to raise the money. That means the money whatever they get by diluting these shares, it's free money to them. They don't need to pay back to anyone. It's not a debt. That's why they keep on issuing. That's why the number of shares will keep on increasing for the bank. I think it is one of the criteria, but it's not 100% sure that to look too much attention into number of shares. Next is price to earnings ratio. So here actually it's always better as low as possible. uh, you can see this column. You can see I think Reliance Industries is getting a PE of 25. State Bank of India, this is undervalued. So always better if look below the PE of 10 if possible. If all other criteria meets, then it's not it's risk free. You will definitely make money like that. So for example, another one is ONGC. If you don't find anything, please wait. It doesn't matter. There is one saying, fear of missing out. You should never get into this fear of missing out method, or maybe you should never get tensed, or you should you should not have FOMO. You should wait. The market falls, then you will get so many companies with whatever the criteria you want. So what is earning? It's happening, and then P. Just to I'll also explain you. Let me search calculator as well. Okay, it's here. So, for example, if I go to Infosys, so current price is 1543. The P ratio means it's actually so you can see 1543 divided by this is the earnings per share 59.8. Up 59.8, 25.8. So that is what it's showing here, price per earnings. So this is also one of the criteria. Best is as low as possible, as I written here. Next is debt to equity ratio. It's always better to debt to equity ratio means how much the loan they have taken. That's very very important. You should never get into companies which are more than one debt to equity ratio. So here it is 0.11, since they've got a lot of cash, Infosys, as well as a lot of reserves as well. This is cash equivalents means FD as well as the cash which is lying in the bank. Reserves could be investment what they have made in mutual funds or any other companies they would have invested. So you should always look for the company which has got very very less debt. You can also add here if you want to add a criteria. You can also add it here. 8,500. This could be some short-term loans and other things what they would have taken. If the interest rate is less, definitely they try to utilize. That's why these kind of companies have got less. So here, for example, you can also put a formula. Anyway, let me show, for example, and you can add here, and debt to equity ratio is equal to, for example, 0. Then if you run this query, you will get these kind of three companies, for example, two companies which are they have not taken any debt at all. So these two companies are there. Yeah, here you can see debt to equity ratio. So always best if there is no debt in the company's book. So promoter holding, it's always better if we have as high as possible. Let me change the criteria here. Let me put point 0.5. It's okay. I think some of the times it's also better if they take debt. Promoter holding, for example, I can give greater than 50 is always better. So there are no companies. Maybe in the large caps, usually they will dilute it. Uh, they will keep on diluting the shares. That's why, I mean, it depends. I mean, this criteria, what I'm showing, the promoter holding, you should be, mainly uh, use it for small caps where the risk is more. It's better always to have more than 70 or 50% of, promoter holding. Okay, anyway, I don't know. Somehow this is equal to, that's the problem. Okay, I'm sorry for that. It should be less than here. I think because of that it's not showing. Let me go back now to 50, for example. Yeah. Now you can see, the promoter holding is somewhere. There should be a column here. You can see these companies have promoter holding. For example, Reliance Industries, if you go, Mukesh Ambani is owning 50% of the share. So if they are owning it, then definitely you know that. I mean, they're going to work for their own, value creation. This price to earnings ratio is, as I was telling here, it also means that if they are earning 1 rupee, the share market is, giving 25 rupees. That means if Reliance company is earning 1 rupee, Mukesh Ambani is getting 25 rupees. That means if he is having shares, he can always sell. Even though his company is earning 1 rupee, he can sell it more price. I mean, if you want to sell some few shares, he's getting 25 rupees. If even though he's earning 1 rupee, he's getting 25 rupees. That's what the meaning. Next one is pledge shares. So this one is very very important. If you're investing, small companies, you should make sure that the pledging is not happened. For example, I don't know. I can find any examples. Quickly check Biocon if they have any pledging. So usually big companies do not have pledging. So if pledging means you can use your shares, use your shares and you can deposit them in the bank, and then you can, raise the money. So they will usually be, riskier. If it is pledged, then the bank has got the, ability to sell them. If the promoter is, pledged in the bank and raise the money and is utilize the money, then bank does not have any option to sell it out when, if the market is price is falling, or if the company's business is not doing good. So that's why pledging should be zero always. And of course, dividend yield, it's better always, as high as possible. Next, maybe let me quickly check. I can also put a yield here, 50, and then I can also add, dividend yield. For example, if currently FD is, 7%. Let me try if there is if I find any company with, 8% dividend yield. No, I didn't find. Let me see with 7. No, let me reduce the market cap. Doesn't matter. Let me put some maybe 5,000. I can also find any mid caps. As nothing is there, let me put 6, and I'll put market cap again 50. For example, 50,000 crores. You can see two companies. Coal India is always paying. If you're putting your money into FD, you're getting 6%. This, Coal India is already giving, 6.45% of, dividend as a FD returns. You can see, if you would have invested, for example, here somewhere in 2000 July, the price was always 224 or something. For example, let me go back to no, here in August and all, it's, 138.55. So if you have invested that time, you would have also got the appreciation of the money, as well as, you would have got your yield would have been already more than 10 to 12%. So you need to, divide, for example, this 148 divided by what was the, dividend paid in the last year. So that's how you calculate it. For example, let me go to dividend history here. You can also see in this, corporate actions column, financial year. You can see they have paid this much, 15 plus. Let me quickly calculate. 15 plus 5.25 plus, and then 4 rupees. 24.25 they paid last financial year. Now let's say if you would have bought at, 146, 146. divided by 24.25. Uh, Sorry, it's other way around. 5 divided by 148. Into 100 if you make. So, if those who bought at actually at 148 or 150 price, so their dividend yield is 16.38. It's unbelievable. You are just putting your money there. First, you're getting this much of dividend, of course, and also the price has almost doubled, 150. So that's how you need to identify the companies. So if you are in getting retirement, or if you're looking for regular income, you should invest in these kind of companies. Next, as I said, cash equivalents, it's always better, if you have a lot of cash. For example, Coal India, if you see, this is government organization, of course, but they've got a lot of cash. Similarly, you can also uh, see other companies as well. For example, here if I give 5%, there are also this ONGC are of course also uh, government organizations. So currently the market is overvalued. That's why the prices have gone up too much. That's why the dividend percentage is also less. So you need to look these formulas when the market is down. That time you will have very good opportunities. For example, if you see here, this is also giving 3.27 HCL Technologies, and you can also look at the cash holding and the reserves. 16,000 crores they've got, as well as the reserves itself is 65,140 crores. You can think of these are all very very good companies. Since they've got so much of cash backing, and their results are so good, so these will definitely create the wealth in a long term. Your idea is to just buy good companies and keep it, here 14 to 2023. So they are just going up. Maybe in between there is a fall, but these are all short periods. If you identify a good company, your work is done. Just follow coffee can methodology. That's what I'm also doing that. I believe in that, instead of scratching your head too much into getting the good returns and all. Next is face value. So this is also little bit matters, not too much. For example, here if you see face value of this one is 2. Usually, whenever the market is getting listed, the face value will be 10. So when they want to bring the price down, you know, then they will split the face value. For example, this 1,466. If they make the uh, face value 1, then they will divide it, 730 or something, this price will become, and the face value will become 1. So that means the for the investors the price looks less. That's why the number of people will buy more. That's why usually the company will bring the face values from 10 to, they'll bring it down. Usually this is 2. In few years time, they can also, HCL can also bring it down to 1. This also you can check here in the, if you go to for example, there will be actually one tab for split. If you quickly go to, for example, tips, where actually I saw that they have reduced the face value. For example, if I go to split, you can see here already the stocks face value was 10 earlier. So from April 21st 2023 onwards, they have made it as 1. So that means the price would have been reduced. So now if I go back to tips, the price is 342. If the face value is 10, the price is 3,420. So that's how it works. So this one doesn't matter too much, but it's always better, if the face value is high, you will always have a chance that you will get, your price, you will get more, dividend. For example, if they declare 100% dividend, that means 10 rupees you'll get per share. So the next one is also return on equity. Sorry, there's a small mistake here. Return on equity. Uh, it is actually better, as high as possible. It's also kind of relative. You should also compare to the industry how much return on equity they are making like that. So it is nothing but net income whatever the profit they get after everything has been removed, like tax, dividend, and all those things, and then average number of shareholders equity, how many are there. If you divide that, then ROI will get it. So it is better always, ROI should be high. Let me go to the formula again. Let me remove this dividend. Instead of that, I can put return on equity. So there are so many criteria, but it depends on you. I mean, these are all the important, what I use usually. You know, for example, if I run these many companies, are the return on equity. Is there a column here? One moment. No. So for example, I can go here, one of the company, and then you can see here I've added here return on equity column as well. So this is also works in the same, the return on capital employed. So, and similarly, this is return on equity. So these two are, based on the investment what they made and the ROE. So if you consider ROE, I think that's enough. So you can see here they are generating so much value. So and also in the if you're in screener.in, you can also check. So I think it looks like it's small for you. Just let me increase it. Yeah. If I quickly go to here, so you can also see return on equity, how much they're getting. This company, for example, Tips is TCS is kind of master in return on equity, and even as well as on the stock price as well. It is 10 years. They have multiplied at 13% plus dividend. If you invested 10 years back and now, so the dividend yield itself would have been already more than 10% or something. So the growth is also happening good. So these are all some of the criteria you can also think of, in the screener data. Yeah, that's it as of now. Just let me also put the a formula anyway I've shown you. So for example, if I want to look for a company, so whatever the criteria I set, I'll put the formula here. For example, the market cap I told you, based on the mid cap or small cap, you'll put it. Promoter debt to equity should be less, and promoter holding. Then ROE I can also put. ROE is, for example, greater than 15. It's better. And you can also put so let me glance it. Face value you don't need to put, cash you don't need to put, dividend yield okay, pledge shares, promoter holding I put, P ratio. Yeah, for example, price to earnings ratio, it's very important. We should look, if the price is undervalued. If you find any companies which are under less than 10, it will definitely be great. Number of shares not so important. Market cap also doesn't matter. I mean, anyway, I already put it here. So, for example, if I put this formula, so you will find some companies. Then this is kind of a short list in the companies. Later on, then you can finalize any of these companies. First of all, Coal India is government company. Actually I'm not so in favor of investing in government companies because they may change the policy and I can't keep it for long term. Even though they have a lot of companies would have generated a lot of wealth. I with this formula I got this one. Stock P is 8.88. This is really good. ROE is also good. Then dividend yield is also very good. But another problem, as you can see, the price is almost at the 52-week high. But anyway, since the P is less, this can also, you know, grow the value. But if I come back here again, this is also looks like a government organization. So usually you can also go to shareholding pattern in the down. Uh, you can look here. So this is also President of India. Yeah. So I will not again invest.